Only the second day of class and I'm already kind of done. Hello friends, how's it going? I hope you're having a lovely day. Today I'm taking a little bit of a break from my schoolwork to talk to you about all the books I'm planning on reading this fall. I'm also vlogging my first week of class, so if you haven't seen that yet, it'll be up already. Go check it out. So here's my stack of books for now. Although this is probably less than half of what I actually have on my TBR because a lot of them I'm getting from the library. Yeah, my TBR is quite ambitious. I highly doubt that I'll be getting to all of the books, but I'm gonna try, you know. I was talking to my friend Emily the other day, and she mentioned that seasonal TBRs are better than monthly TBRs, which I agree because, well, she mentioned that it's a lot harder to get through everything in 1 month, and it's easier if you sort of spread it out and have a little bit more freedom that way. So, totally agree. Which is why I'm doing a seasonal TBR today. I guess I'll run through my physical TBR first. First up, we have The Shining by Stephen King, a classic. I'm really looking forward to the spooky vibes this fall. I've never read Stephen King before, but I'm about halfway through it right now, and definitely spooky. I feel like my inexperience with horror has come out in like really interesting ways. Like I keep reading about all the conflicts and like problems that the characters have, and I just like want redemption for them, but I know that that's not gonna happen because it's horror and that never ends well. It's just really sad because I know they're not gonna get the redemption that they deserve. It's a very interesting start for me. Sort of dipping my toe into horror. I haven't gotten to like the climax or anything yet, so I guess I don't know. I can't give my full opinion on Stephen King yet, but I do like it so far. I'm enjoying this, although not reading it at night because I'm kind of a wimp when it comes to horror, but that's okay. Yeah, I don't like horror movies. I don't mind reading it as much, and I also like listening to like horror podcasts sometimes. I think those are kind of fun. So it's just the movies that I really can't handle. Next up, a very old ratty copy of Wuthering Heights. I don't know much about this story at all actually, so I don't really know if this is a good fall book or not, but I thought that I needed to throw a few classics in here, and I've never read the Bronte sisters, kind of not feeling so good about that one. So here we have one. This copy is very ugly. My dad has one that is much nicer and prettier, so I might be reading out of that one. Another Bronte book, Jane Eyre. Never read this one either. I've been reading another Austen novel, which is behind me. Sense and Sensibility up there. Big fan. I'm really not very far into it because I've been spending all my time reading The Shining. I mean, I know next to nothing about Jane Eyre, but I feel like my perception, I don't know if this makes any sense, but my perception is that it might be sort of similar to an Austen novel, except I do know that, what's his name, Mr. Rochester, I believe, is like an anti-feminist or something. I don't know, I feel like there's some sort of anti-feminism involved in the plot there around Mr. Rochester, so we'll have to see when I read it, but this is also on my TBR. Okay, another reason I'm hoping these are fall vibes and just sort of reasons that I want to read these two in general are because I've been working my way through the Rory Gilmore reading list. As I've mentioned a few times recently, I'm getting back into Gilmore Girls quite a bit with my mom, and I found out that there is a Rory Gilmore reading list, and pretty pumped about that. I've read a few things on there so far, and these two are books that are on the list, which I haven't gotten to yet, so I'm hoping to get to these soon so that I can cross them off the list. Alright, the section of books that I'm excited for the most about fall are dark academia books because, oh my goodness, I am just so excited to read all the dark academia this fall. I get like crazy eyes talking about it. Anyway, first up, Maurice. I've talked about this one in my last TBR video, which I filmed a few months ago and still haven't gotten to it. So it's by E.M. Forster, author of Howard's End. He also did A Room with a View and something else. Where's A Room with a View? Is that Virginia Woolf? Hang on, give me a second. Okay, A Room of One's Own is Virginia Woolf, A Room with a View is E.M. Forster. Anyway, okay, I, again, don't actually know if this is dark academia, but I get the vibes just from reading the blurb on the back because they talk about Cambridge. So Maurice, the main character, shocking, goes to Cambridge, and I don't know, it just gives me like New England prep school vibes, even though Cambridge is in England and is a university. I sort of get the same vibes from that. So I'm hoping that that is somewhat dark academia so that I can justify putting it on my fall TBR, and more so that I can justify not having read it yet. Next up, Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. This is, I'm pretty sure it's a new release. I think it came out in July, but I've mentioned her a few times in recent videos, I think, but I've been super into BookTube recently, specifically Kira Foster. I'll link her channel below, and she and a few other people host this thing called the Dark Academics Book Club. I'll link their Instagram below as well, but September's read is this one, and I know basically nothing about it, but I like it better that way. I much prefer not knowing anything about the plot of a book I'm about to read. I think reading is just so much more enjoyable that way. So I'll be reading this for the September book club, and it is called the Dark Academics Book Club, so I'm assuming it is dark academia. Okay, after reading the blurb, it sounds more like a spooky kind of book about an interesting house, which is weirdly similar to The Shining, which is about a haunted hotel. Alright, that's the end of my physical TBR, but like I said, I have quite a few more books on things that I want to read, so I have been using the Libby app. I don't know if I've talked about this before or not, but it's an app you can download on iPads. I don't know about anything else, probably your phone as well, but anyway. They allow you to have 10 holds, and here are my 10 holds. So first up on my digital TBR, I suppose, is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. Again, Kira Foster, she's hosting a read-along in October of Rebecca with one of her friends. I don't remember who it is. I guess I'll link the announcement for the read-along in the description, and they're doing it because there's a movie adaptation coming to Netflix in October, and that book is also on the Rory Gilmore reading list, so I thought it would be a perfect opportunity to read it. I'm really excited about it. It sounds kind of spooky and definitely fall vibes, more of like a gothic novel. So that should be fun. The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I believe this one is about a school where there's a murder. So New England prep school vibes, #1 on the list of dark academia. It is New England, but it's a college, not a prep school. Either way, same sort of thing. And yeah, there's a murder, which I feel like is a classic dark academia sort of thing, or death, I feel like is a common theme. So pretty excited about that one. This one, it says that I will be able to read it in just a few days, so I'm very excited. Hopefully I can finish up The Shining before I get this one. Then we have If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio, and the vibe I get from this one, I believe it's similar to The Secret History, except it's at a theater school, I believe, where they exclusively study Shakespeare. So they speak in like Shakespearean English, and there are many, many references to Shakespeare throughout the book, which I think will be quite interesting. And again, I believe there's murder involved in that one too, so always another interesting element to add to any sort of story. Murder, always interesting, right? Okay, this one, unfortunately, I might have to buy because it's not supposed to be available for 18 weeks, so might have to break down and buy this one, but it is The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. This one sounds super interesting because it's about a group of friends who go to this cabin for New Year's, I think, and someone is murdered. And so, again, murder, common theme here. I do enjoy a good murder mystery. Although, my grandma, she exclusively reads murder mysteries. Like, that is literally the only thing she reads, so I'm not quite like that. This one is particularly interesting because, as I understand it, you don't know, obviously, who killed them until the end, who killed the victim until the end, but throughout, I think most of the book, you don't even know who the victim is, which is very interesting. And I've also heard that there are multiple timelines and multiple viewpoints, so that adds another little element of excitement and interest, and I feel like it would be very difficult to figure out what's going on, which I don't mind. I like a good challenge in a murder mystery. I also have on my list The Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown. I'm pretty sure my mom has this book, but I couldn't find it before I started filming, so that's why it's not in the physical TBR, but I'm pretty sure we do have a copy. So I'm reading this one again because of the Roy Gilmore reading list. I have seen most of the movie, I think, but I've never finished it, so I don't actually know like the entire plot, and I think it's a really interesting story, and I would really like to find out what actually happens. We love secret societies and Paris. I went to Paris a couple of years ago, and my mom made sure to tell me to look at the glass pyramid that's underneath the pyramid at the Louvre. I hadn't finished the movie still, so I had no idea what she was talking about, but I still don't, honestly, so can't wait to find out what that means. Next up is Truly Devious, which is the beginning of a trilogy, I believe, and it's another murder mystery, surprise, surprise, and I think it takes place at a school where, this is me repeating what I've heard from other people, but I believe it's a school where you, as long as you get in, tuition is free. There's no tuition. So the hardest part is getting in. And once you get in, you pick like a very specific area of study and you just focus on that. So it seems like sort of a conservatory. I don't really know the details. Again, haven't read it, and I prefer not to know anything about the plot of stories. So I believe that the main character is studying to be a detective, which probably helps out with the whole murder mystery vibe, you know? So this one seems very much dark academia, and hopefully I like it and then can read the rest of the trilogy. Okay, last but very much not least, we have The Fellowship of the Ring and the entire Lord of the Rings series. I never thought I would be interested in reading this series. I'm not a huge fantasy person. That series intimidated me the same amount that the Game of Thrones series did, A Song of Ice and Fire. But the Lord of the Rings series is actually much shorter, which makes it less intimidating to me. And again, after watching Kira Foster read the series, I thought, you know what? Maybe I should. I've seen all the movies. I've seen all the Lord of the Rings movies, and I don't remember. I think I saw maybe just the first Hobbit movie. I have not committed to reading The Hobbit yet, but my dad has the last two Lord of the Rings books. Why he didn't buy the first one? But they're a matching set, so I scoured the internet looking for the Fellowship of the Ring that matches the set that he has, and I bought one, and it's on the way now, and I'm so excited because then I can read The Lord of the Rings. I think that'll be a very nice challenge for me this fall. Should be fun. So, as you can see, I have quite a few books on my TBR this fall, and probably won't get to all of them, but I am hoping to read quite a bit more this fall because I really ramped up my speed in August. I read 5 books in August, which might not seem like a lot, but I think it's quite a few more than what I had before, so not bad. 5 is really not that bad. And I'm hoping to not necessarily increase that number, but at least keep at the same rate this fall, even though I am starting school again. So hopefully I can keep up my pace and get through lots of books. Really got my work cut out for me this fall, but I'm quite excited about all the books that are on my list. Let me know in the comments what you're planning on reading this fall. I would love to hear book recommendations, or if you've read any of the books that I have on my TBR and have thoughts about them, please share them below. Of course, no spoilers, because I will be very upset if anyone leaves spoilers in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video, got some inspiration, whatever. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe because I would love to see your lovely face here again next time. And with that, I think I'll be off and go read some more of this bad boy because she is thick. Wow. Anyway, see you next time. Bye.